What did the early church teach about contraception? Today, modern priests and bishops, a good number of them, if not a majority of them, do not agree that contraception is a sin. Contraception is a sin and it is against nature. It has been committed all throughout history. And in this video, we will see what the early church fathers taught about contraception and to reaffirm the Orthodox Christian teaching on marital intercourse being for the sole purpose of procreation. Catholics in particular almost shun all forms of birth control, but still condone what they call natural family planning, or NFP. This is still a form of contraception. Before we view what the early church fathers thought about contraception, I must first explain why NFP is still a form of birth control. I'll keep it simple. Think about it logically. Tracking the cycle of your wife to see when she is least fertile, and then doing the act of intercourse. What is a couple doing this hoping to achieve? They are hoping not to conceive while and after doing the act of intercourse, which is what the main objective of any form of birth control is. Let us also briefly go over all other forms of contraception. It will be listed in the screen. Feel free to pause the video to see what they are. Now that we have explained why NFP is still a form of birth control, we went over the other forms of contraception, and I explained the concept of the purpose of what birth control is. Let us see what the early church taught us in regards to this subject. The first quote comes from the Apostolic Constitutions. When the natural menstruations appear in the wives, do not let their husbands have intercourse with them, out of regard for the children that are to be begotten, for the law has forbidden it. For it says, "You shall not come near your wife when she is in her separation, neither let them have intercourse with their wives when they are pregnant. For they do not do this for the sake of begetting children, but for the sake of mere pleasure. Now a lover of God ought not to be a lover of pleasure." The next quote is from Barnabas the Apostle, who, you guessed it, is one of the 70 apostles and is even mentioned in the scriptures. Here is what he had to say. "You shall not be as those whom we hear of as committing sexual wickedness with the mouth, on account of their uncleanness, neither shall you be joined to those impure women who commit iniquity with the mouth." The next writing is by Ignatius of Antioch, a disciple of Polycarp, who is a disciple of John, the writer of the Gospel of John. Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, Joseph and Isaiah, and the rest of the prophets, Peter and Paul, and the rest of the apostles were married men. They entered into these marriages not for the sake of appetite, but out of regard for the propagation of mankind.